Hello and welcome to another episode of the Growing Happy Babies podcast, your birth village in your pocket. I'm Adina, board-certified lactation consultant and fellow mom. In this podcast, we'll chat with doulas, midwives, lactation consultants, therapists, pelvic floor physios, and so many more birth helpers in the English-speaking Israeli community. Listen in to help you decide who you want to work with throughout your birth and baby journey. Let's grow some happy babies and happy families together. Most moms plan to breastfeed, but 3 out of 4 of them run into challenges. So many of us have grown into motherhood without ever seeing another woman breastfeed. That's why I created the Pocket Prenatal, a hands-on virtual prenatal breastfeeding preparation class with live monthly meetings where we literally put breastfeeding skills into practice before your baby arrives. What's normal newborn behavior? How do you know your baby is eating and growing well? Healing nipple pain, pumping, how to use bottles and pacifiers, postpartum mental health, and so much more. Join me for a comprehensive, judgment-free prenatal breastfeeding preparation at the Pocket Prenatal. Hello, everyone. Welcome again. Today, I'm so excited to be talking with Danielle Nottea, who is a doula, a childbirth educator, postpartum doula, and a lactation counselor. So she can basically help you through the entire, I don't even know what, pregnancy and postpartum period. Like everything you need all in one person. Hi, Danielle.
Hi, Adina. It's so nice to meet you.
Yeah, it's wonderful to meet you too. It's one of my favorite things about this podcast is how many awesome people I meet. And can you start us on your story? What brought you to supporting women during their pregnancy, their postpartum, mothers and babies? Bring us through the timeline.
Sure. So I made Aliyah right after I took the bar exam in California. And I practiced for a while, and I didn't love it. And I took roles in whatever startup roles that I could find. And I made my way into senior management roles at many different types of tech companies. And I was mostly available 24/7. And then I got pregnant and I had my first baby. And my life completely changed. My priorities completely shifted. And I have to say that I was incredibly supported after I gave birth, as in I felt supported. I just really had this like network around me. My partner is just wow. My family is incredible. His family is they just kind of coalesced around us. And then when my friends started having babies and asking me here and there for advice, it just filled me with such joy. And then specifically one of my friends' wives gave birth here at a hospital right near me. And they asked me if I could come by and help her with something lactation related, even though I wasn't yet certified or anything. I had no knowledge, but I came and helped. And when I got home, I had this like aura around me. And my partner was like, this is what you're supposed to be doing, right? And I just decided that was going to be my focus just for a while. So I became a postpartum doula just with the intention of like staying in tech and supporting women around me who I love just so I could. And then I had another baby and I had a very really I don't want to over dramatize, but I had a traumatizing breastfeeding experience. And in order to heal myself, my teacher from my postpartum doula course invited me to the lactation counselor's course. And I did it with my newborn, like really 3 weeks old. He came. He's also certified along with me. And that was unbelievable and also life-changing. And then I decided, even though I got advice from many of my mentors and many women around me, that it's hard to be a doula with a 1-year-old. I decided that I had to do it because it had been a lifelong dream. And I didn't know when would be the right time, in the same way that there's no right time to have a baby. There's no right time to become a doula, I think. And so I started studying. I became a birth doula and a childbirth educator. And it has been really the greatest gift of my life. I feel so fulfilled in this role.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing work that we do. When you're supporting a family, what part of your work, what part of what you bring to the table feels like uniquely Danielle? Like what's you rather than just any other doula or lactation counselor in the world?
It really might sound very cheesy, but I think anyone who knows me would really say that there's like a certain like care that I bring. Like it's a deep sort of affection and connection that I make with people. That's actually really important to me. So even when I meet couples that I'm like, I don't think that they connect, it doesn't happen all the time, but where I'm like, they might connect with another energy a little bit better, then I might even say something. But the truth is that for me, it's all about finding a way to like support this family and what their approach is, what their philosophy is, but really like creating this relationship with them that feels like it has some continuity also. So throughout pregnancy, I love to do childbirth prep courses because it really helps me get to know people. And then, like right now, right before this session, a text, I know we did our last session. Can you come over and help us do the bath? And for me, that's what's most meaningful, is being that sort of foundational support system that somebody has when in that late night crisis mode, panicking about something like, is this an emergency or not an emergency? Somebody to text.
Yeah.
And so I think for me, it's that sort of open relationship and communication that they feel like I genuinely care. And I think I hope that's the case with most people, but I think that's something special that people feel with me.
That's wonderful. Yeah. Feeling loved on your own journey towards parenthood and motherhood is crucial. Like when we're preparing to love a new human, we need to feel that love towards us as well. It's like we have to fill our tank with the people who are supporting us, or it's so hard to give that love over to the baby.
That's such a perfect way to explain it. That's exactly it.
Yeah. You need the input to get to the output.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Completely.
Yeah. Wonderful. Can you tell us a story about, family or mother or like breastfeeding scenario, whatever stories that you love to tell about your work? Can you share some with us?
I'll share actually something really exciting relating to something that just happened. So that, because it's on my heart a little bit right now, that joy. So I'll share about birth that I had the honor of being part of for this couple that is like, they're so young and just, those people who you just feel you feel how pure they are. They just have this energy about them. And the mother was so determined to have an unmedicated birth, and she's like so focused, asked me for all of the books that I have in my house, and just came in with this like razor sort of sharp, this is what I want and this is how I want things to go, to the extent that we had to talk a lot about how things sometimes start differently and how you have to be open-minded to all different kinds of, the journey is completely unknown. And she went to 42 plus 1 and had to be induced. And I think that was like a challenge for her mentally, that it wasn't going to start the way that she was hoping and the way that she expected. And in truth, they started her on Pitocin, and then pretty quickly she was having very clearly her own contractions. And I asked if we could turn off the Pitocin, and they did. And she just did incredible. Like she was so focused. She was in a trance. And what was really special is that in the room was her husband and her mom and me. And at certain points, just everyone in the room was doing like the labor hum, all of us together. It was so special. And she was going in and out. The baby's head wasn't descending as quickly as we would have liked. And she was just doing all of these incredible positions and going in and out of a trance, really just like so focused. She gave birth, just like the most beautiful thing I can't even express. Okay. And why this is on my heart now is that her baby was born with a severe condition. They couldn't have known in advance, I think, or at least it wasn't shared with them in advance. And he was just released yesterday from the NICU. They just got home. And this woman, she is so young, and she is so determined, and she was pumping for 60 days exclusively for this baby. And I am just in awe of her, like genuinely could not be more in awe of her. I don't pray all the time, but I spend every night praying for them. And so the fact that they just made it home for me is like, it feels like, I don't know, heart is still a little bit, I'm still a little bit up in the sky about it.
Beautiful. Did you help her through that pumping journey as well, or was that mostly her?
Yeah. Oh my God. The journey was so not the most smooth journey on its own. She had clogged ducts a few times, nearly mastitis. It wasn't smooth, but that's the thing, that she just has this resilience, and she was so informed in advance. She knew exactly what she was doing. Everything that came at her, she just kind of found this strength that I'm not sure. I often ask myself, like, would you be that strong in that situation? Would you be able to navigate that? Would you, like, she just never gave up. I don't know that I would have had that resilience.
Yeah. Well, all right. Thank you.
Yeah, we were in it a bit together, but she did all the work. She did everything.
Yeah. Well, the people who do all the work, they really need that bubble of support around them so they can have the energy to do the work.
I really hope that she felt that. It was coming. It was all the time.
What's your favorite piece of advice to give women when they're pregnant?
Wow, it's such a good question. Prepare. And I don't mean this in the sense of buy all the things, because that's the easy part. I mean that sometimes we're so focused on the pregnancy aspect that when the baby is placed on us or becomes a presence in the room, it sometimes is like, what? That like, even though you psychologically understand, intellectually you understand, but spiritually it's not so clear. And so I think to actually do a childbirth prep course, I think to me, feels essential. There are a lot of people who are like, people give birth every day and we'll see what happens. And there's not so much that you can do to prepare. And the truth is that there's so much that you can do to prepare. You have to have clarity that postpartum isn't what it looks like online. And that's actually one of the things that I think is to our detriment for modern families, is that it sort of looks like online makes it look like, okay, I just have a baby carrier and I have a stroller and I just go meet friends for coffee. And then in reality, it can feel so that like the contrast to what it actually feels like when you're leaking and your baby may or may not be latching as easily as you like, or just like what it feels like to put on clothes again or to choose clothes, or like your identity shifts. I think most people would say that their identity really shifts after birth.
Yeah.
And I think one of the best things that I heard that I didn't know is after you give birth, time is mushy and you feel like, okay, so I'll do I know I have to do X, Y, and Z, but you don't know what day it is. So if you don't plan to have support, or and you haven't prepared in advance and you don't have the things that you need or have the support that you need, that period that also has a lot of noise and a lot of advice and a lot of different people telling you and you don't know yet if you have instincts that you can trust yet. I mean, I think at least many fresh parents don't yet know. They don't have the confidence yet to know how to listen to their instincts. It just feels a bit like a blizzard. And the more you prepare for that, the more you have a mindset in advance of how you plan to navigate that era. I think you come out of it or go into it and experience it and come out of it with so much more ease, the best, or at least the best that's possible.
So how can a woman prepare to navigate that blizzard?
I think at the very least, breastfeeding prep or any feeding prep, I think is absolutely critical, because whether we like it or not, physiologically, our body is responding to the fact that we've just given birth, and we need to know how to navigate that. I think figuring out who your support system is, planning food, either having a food train, knowing who's doing what. So if you have family coming in or if you have family around, kind of an advanced understanding, how many times a week will I have some help? And if you don't have family around or friends around who are willing to help, then it's a really, really worthwhile investment to have either a postpartum doula or a night nurse. It's just a phase of life when you're so tired, everything feels a little bit edgier. Finding out, figuring out your support system, and then a little bit planning, preparing yourself, because we oftentimes today prepare for or think we can control very much, and birth kind of gives us this lesson. A little bit preparing ourselves for some surrender, knowing it's not linear. Every day could be different. I can make plans and then my baby will cluster feed. Or I think the vaccines didn't affect the baby last time, so we can do this. We can go to our holiday party right after. Things like that you just, birth and postpartum are very humbling. Preparing to be humbled.
Yeah. Preparing to be humbled, preparing to be flexible, not planning on learning a hobby during maternity leave.
No,
it's not going to happen.
I mean, it could, but it really depends. And that's the thing. You have to really also prepare to get to know your baby.
Yeah.
So every baby brings with them a whole character that we have this huge privilege to discover. Figuring out do I have a baby who's cool with getting in the car? Some people, yes. Some people, I did not have that. There should be a special support group for parents whose babies don't like being in the car.
Yep. Those two. They cried for the first year, all of them. I have 4 kids, 4 years of babies crying in the car.
Same here.
Yeah.
Every time I'm in the car and I see a car slowly nudging forward, I'm like, oh my God, I know that dance.
Right. And I have this car now, which is like some kind of environmentally friendly car, and the engine turns off if you brake. And I'm like,
Mhm.
whoever invented this is not
Okay.
prepared. I'm so
They
glad
just-
I don't have this car with babies. Imagine if the engine turned off at a red light.
No, because
No.
you really need that forward and
You need
the
the hum, you need the buzz, you need the motion.
yeah, and you need a specific song sometimes, and
Yeah. Someone in the back told the pacifier in the baby's mouth.
yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, also like I would say also having friends around, like if you have any friends who have given birth, asking them like what actually helped you. I
Mhm.
think that's also the focus of my childbirth education course is always, which I learned through Denise, birthing is a journey, or in Hebrew, ledaken. The focus is it's very practical and it's what works.
Mhm.
And that's the thing. You need to hear in advance from people around you who have had babies, like what helped. And you don't want to do that after you've given birth because then everyone will be volunteering the information most likely. And it's not as easy to navigate when you're tired or when you're sort of very much in the trenches of it. Although I have to say, also not for everyone, and not for everyone it feels like that. For some people, it can feel very smooth.
Yes, it can. But you don't
Mhm.
know who you're going to be and what you're going to experience.
Right.
So just be prepared.
Mhm.
Thank you, Danielle. I know that anyone who was listening, if they like have no need of your services or live in a different Izor, they're still going to find this conversation helpful because your advice was very rich. So thank you for being here.
So thank you so much.
Are you a doula, midwife, lactation consultant, or other type of birth helper? Doulas Israel is the platform where clients find you. Stop fussing with websites. Your profile page on Doulas Israel houses all the information your client needs to know before they reach out to you. Make helping women simpler with a Doulas Israel membership. Growing Happy Babies is the code that gets you 5% off of the annual pro membership. Check out the full directory for every interview we've done up until now, housed at my website, growinghappybabies.com. You can search by profession, location in Israel, or name to choose exactly which birth supporter you need for your journey into motherhood. Whether you are hoping to get pregnant, waiting for your baby to arrive, or already holding your baby in your arms, reach out with any questions. I'm here for you. Until next time.